the action. Really nice character reveal there. Wow, using that tension that we built up in the previous sequence is very impressive. Today I'm watching, reacting to, and breaking down the cinematic language of The Blood of Dawnwalker, cinematic trailer and gameplay teaser. This is a new game by some previous makers of The Witcher, who've kind of started up their own thing, which is very interesting. I think it's some of the makers of The Witcher 3, and then it seems the director of The Witcher 1 is now directing The Witcher 4. So some cool kind of artistic moves here happening within the creative space. Anyways, looking forward to both. Let's check this out and see if it kind of has that vibe of The Witcher. I'm excited to break this one down. If you enjoy our time together, check out some of my other cinematic breakdowns. All right, let's check this one out and see what all the fuss is about, shall we? Yeah, here we go. Director of The Witcher 3. Somewhere in the Carpathians, 1347. So we are on Earth here. It's not a fantasy world. Really nice establishing shot. That was good. To the right focus.
Must be here somewhere.
This is great. Really nice visual style. Oh, listen to the music. So, okay, we'll stop at that kind of scene change for a moment. I really like this establishing shot. We see this world just draws us right in, and we were told 1347 Carpathians. Boom, it's something you can picture, and then we're drawn into. We have this great establishing shot which kind of is bringing you in. Okay, we're gonna, it's kind of a fake out, like, oh, we're gonna go into the castle here, right? But then no, we get, oh, that's the bells ringing of the castle. Perhaps this person has escaped and they're chasing after this person. So it's kind of a nice little fake out there to introduce us to, in this case, or at least in this scene, this piece of a scene, protagonist. Let's see what's happening here. And they clearly have a person. It's like there's some really interesting storytelling questions that are being raised. Right? He must be here somewhere. It's like, oh, I'm instantly gripped here and sort of in the story. And I'm hooked. Right? It's a great shot too. It's a really nice shot. And this music is, I mean, listen to this. Music is incredibly reminiscent, and the vibe and the sort of aesthetic is very reminiscent of sort of the Witcher 3 cinematic trailers. So let's see where it goes now. New scene. Really nice. Okay, first time we're kind of interacting with this character that he's carrying. And he's completely cornered.
Don't hurt her.
Oh no, a plague.
You gave us quite the chase, young.
Please, sir. She's just a child.
Roderick, remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No. That would have been foolish, would it not?
They spread the plague just as well as adults.
And there's only one way
Plague, yeah.
to stamp out this sickness.
No!
Oh wow, fighting back. What was that? Who's that?
Not
Really
just
nice.
a runner, but a fighter too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended different.
Oh! Oh! Ah! Is that a vampire? Wow, I'm gonna pause there for just a moment. This is beautiful tension building here. I have to say, I love this sort of miniature scene that we get, and we get a lot of questions answered. Why is he running? Who is he carrying? What was the crime? All answered in this really, really nice scene, and then we kind of transition to, so we get the reveal, don't hurt her, right as you see her face, right? And I guess plague, something's going on here though. There's something more that's happening.
Quite the chase, young.
Please, sir.
But I love this sort of arrogance that's happening here. It's a really good tension building scene, because in this case, right when he goes in there and he's surrounded and we see the two different angles, right? We know there's pretty much nothing he can do unless he has some sort of secret power or some sort of ally that's going to save him. So I really like that we're kind of building this tension now.
No, sire.
Did I make an exception for children? It's like, oh, this is a ruthless place that's going to continue to be challenging to escape. So let's see what happens here.
No.
And then we have beautiful, beautiful lighting. I want to say we're using this light from the torch as rim lighting for the characters, which gives them just a nice outline against this very dark background. You can see even the back of the hair here lighting up. Beautiful, beautiful work here. It looks very painterly.
That would have been foolish, would it not?
They spread the plague just as well as Adam.
And there's only one way to stamp out this sickness.
No!
So he did save her right there. So yeah, this is the shot I wanted to see. Of course, there's this really interesting shot going on here, which seems to be some sort of vampire character. I don't know. Is it an ally? Is it an enemy? Is it a third party of pure chaos? But I love that it's just enough to make you question. It's like, what did I see there? And then I love how they linger on the frame for just a moment before we continue. So let's see.
Not just a runner, but a fighter too.
They almost respect him.
Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended.
And here we go into the action. Really nice character reveal there. Wow, using that tension that we built up in the previous sequence to really cash in on this payoff. And it's brutal, different cultures colliding. What in the... Brilliant choreography, and not just the action, but the camera work is very impressive. We'll pause there for a second. Wow, unbelievable action sequence here. Really, really interesting. What I like about it is we're introducing a sort of magic system and a sort of world building by what happens here. Look at this. I quite like this reaction. Sorry about the brutality there. It's pretty intense. You wouldn't even know what happened for a second. So I like that he's not just like, instantly. You'd be like, what just tripped me? What happened to my body, right? So I think that's really well directed in that sense. So we're gonna move on to the next shot here. Everybody's just like, what? I love this character reveal. And I think, if I'm not wrong, this seems to be the guy who's standing in the window, right? So I love that. He just kind of starts as a shadow for that split second. And you see the eyes. Look at that. Brilliant. Very, very Nosferatu type lighting here and character. Let's see what happens. So what I want to note is this character actually seems quite surprised by what's happening, right? Really, really brutal fighting style. And we're getting a character introduction to a few different people here who are using their blood or using the blood of the enemy in really interesting ways. So they seem to have some sort of powers that are allowing them to... Oh, that's such a cool choreography. Like I said, it's swooping the camera around. Look at this. Yeah, really nice shot there. Yeah, really, really brutal. And I actually quite like that we get the respite there. And it's like, it's really intense to watch. It's really brutal to watch. Afterwards of which we get this... a little bit of peace, a little bit of a peaceful moment as the birds escape, which is really cool. Let's see what happens. So they were spared. Very interesting. And they're feeding on the... Oh, yeah. So who was the guy in the window? Maybe it wasn't him. No, it was.
She needs help. Fast. Please, let us pass through.
Oh, okay.
I beg of you.
I like how he kind of respects them, but...
Please. Please.
Oh, they're just gonna feed? What the? What? Oh! He turned her into a vampire. If the lore is to be believed. Interesting. Okay. She healed up instantly? Oh my god.
How?
I am life.
Whoa.
I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing, blood spilled carelessly like water. Things will be different now. For all of you.
Brutal. So he turned the younger sister, I think it was, into a vampire to spare her. Oh, this is in game. And that's our main character. He has vampire powers now. Oh yeah. really nice combat system here. Wow. That's a big old world right there. Well, pretty big. Yeah. Really nice. Very. Oh yeah. I mean, come on. Even the logo has that Witcher feel. Very nice. Gameplay reveal, summer 25. Oh, okay. That wasn't a gameplay reveal, apparently. We got a couple of shots of gameplay, but they're going to wait. That's really fun. Yeah, it's very Witcher down to the aesthetic, and that's not a bad thing. I'd like to see an original story from people who have kind of only adapted the novel. So let's look at some of the shots again that we hadn't seen. This place, this scene right here is pretty crazy. I like how they use the tension that we talked about before, right? Building up that tension to, in this scene, have a bit of a twist, which is, no. We're not going to kill you.
My sister.
Right?
She needs help. Fast.
Very much right here, you're expecting them to just like annihilate this guy, but no, there's a twist.
Let us pass through.
And it becomes something a little bit different. Now, I think what happened here is he must have imbued him with his powers at this point. Or like sort of loaned his powers to him. Because at this point, at the end, he has like the glowing eyes, right? So let's see, let's observe. Yeah, whatever he does to him right there. I think he just put him into a trance possibly too, and maybe he imbues the powers later. But anyway, it's a nice little moment. And then he gets out of the trance, and she instantly heals. What I really like here is the interesting reaction from this guy. Because I think they would have just indiscriminately killed him with everybody else if that was their plan. So he's probably like a little bit more trusting than usual. But I have to say it's cool how this character is brave, because we saw earlier that the guy is definitely willing to stand up to save his sister. Like he literally stood up and attacked the guy who was gonna kill her. And then you can see, yeah, the plague heals right up as she is probably now a vampire. If the lore is.
I am life. I am death.
Pretty cool.
I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley.
He was trying to escape.
Pestilence.
It's interesting. At this point, he's talking to the knight here. He's talking to, I assume, some sort of leader, some sort of king, watching your little valley. He's talking to this guy and addressing him now. He says, like, you screwed up. You're just killing people for no reason. He's like, and I like about this is the dynamic of, from a vampire's perspective, blood is food, right? So it's like, why are you wasting my food, man? Why are you spilling it for no reason? I can use that.
Spilled carelessly.
Yeah.
Like water.
Spilled carelessly like water. It's like, yeah, water doesn't mean anything to us, but blood, no. So I think that's a pretty interesting...
Things will be different now.
breaks the crown. And they just feed on him. Very, very brutal scene. And then the reaction shot here was clever to come to after that just insane attack. I quite like how we get a little bit of a respite before you see the gameplay. The world needs what it fears. That's cool. I mean, that's a gorgeous shot. I really like this. I would assume, like, what's the gameplay loop here? I assume some sort of combat in the dark, but he's half vampire, right? So I don't know. Is he half vampire? Is he full vampire? Looks like a lot of fun. A lot of sneaking around. But we do have daylight shots too, so he's able to be in the daylight. That's a cool enemy design, by the way. And of course, you get that nice shot showing off. And a lot of people say, "Oh God, every game does this now." You get the Breath of the Wild type shot. Listen, it's a game with a big world. You're not going to show the world, right? You got to show it that people are going to play it. So, I mean, it's become a convention of trailers for that reason. Like, do you just not show the open world if you have an open world game? No, you want to show it. Then it's also a very enticing shot. You can look out and see all the work they did. Looks like a lot of work. Look at this place. There's a tower over here. There's the town. There's the castle. And I assume it'll be even bigger than that with different locations to go to. But this is clearly the valley the guy was talking about in the scene. But anyways, I think it's promising. Let me know what you guys think, Witcher fans or otherwise. I think it's got some promise, and I'm really curious to see where they go, because I will say, when adapting source material like The Witcher, you're able to use that amazing source material, very celebrated source material, and characters. Even though they're making new stuff with those characters, you're able to lean on those characters with quite a heavy crutch, right? So now it's kind of like, let's see them prove themselves with their own original characters and their own original story. So that's actually more what I'm curious about, is character, story, and stuff like that. Because I mean, when you're talking about Geralt, Yennefer, and these Ciri, these sort of characters, they're more iconic now, I should say, because of the games and the films, or I should say the TV series. But they're pretty well celebrated characters in the fantasy world. So I'm curious now how they're going to do. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it. Very, very cool. Very, very fun cinematic. And it was very well done. Absolutely. So you guys let me know what you think. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Check out my other cinematic breakdowns and follow on Twitch. Hop in Discord. I'll catch you guys next time.